Hello, everyone. This is Marianne, your host. Today is May 12th, 2016. Welcome to the Thursday Night Call with myself, Cynthia and Mare, and I want to thank you. Thank you all for coming tonight. And our Thursday Night Calls are every other Thursday. They pertain to the new and full moon, astrology, and actually so much more. We are a part of the Diamond Network, which has calls every Monday night, Monday through Thursday, and with the main call being on Monday. Tuesday is the Voices from the Alternative World with Sunny and Dale. Wednesday is the Candy Shop Show with Candy and various guests. Thursday, we alternate with Liz and Candy. So all the information is on the site Diamonds with an S, forever31.blogspot.com. And again, we're going to have a great call tonight. We'll be talking about the full moon, which is on May 21st, and also the chart for today. We'll be doing the Law of One, of course, and at the end of the call, we'll be opening up the call for sharing. Again, I want to thank everyone for being with us tonight. And before I start the music, I just want to share a little bit here. I had a chance to see Paul Simon of the Simon Garfunkel fame, and that was at the Bass Concert Hall. It was last night and the night before, and amazing. He did old songs, he did some new music, and very different from his old songs, like We're All Changing. He, I guess, went to the Amazon jungle and had an initiation there, and it envisions, and it's affected in the music. So he came out with some very interesting music, and it was beautiful, it was eerie, it was mesmerizing. So it took us places. So
wonderful.
Took us to the past, took us to the jungle, and that's what music does. So my choice tonight, I hope it'll take you to a wonderful place. It is Nature's Night, and here it is. Cynthia, are you there? Let me just set the mode here.
Yeah, I'm here. Okay, guys, this is a real interesting time, and this is a real interesting chart. There's all this stuff going on with the Hadron Collider, CERN. You've heard of the mad scientist. They're doing things that is just scary. And interestingly enough, looking at the chart both for tonight and for the full moon on the 21st, it's all part of a big fabric of that has been prophesied for a very long time in many different cultures and languages. And whenever you look at any chart, if you want to know what the bedrock is, what you have to do to make it work, the practical steps that have to be taken to ground it, you look at Saturn. And Saturn in both charts is smack dab on the great attractor, which we have talked about before. The great attractor is a point at 15 Sag that is sucking into it immense universes and galaxies. They're all going into it. I was reading today, a new thing came out on it, and it's something like, this huge speed, like 600 million kilometers a second or something like that. It's much more than they used to think. And it's not a black hole because there's no event horizon. And it has a way of refracting light around it to where you can see behind it. And it has a great red shift and a great purple shift, which means it appears like you're going toward it and that it's coming at you at the same time. And this is all astronomy. Just Google Great Attractor. And Saturn is smack dab on it for these two charts, just when they're firing up the Hadron CERN thing over there in Switzerland at dangerous levels, causing things on the sun. But anyway, in tonight's chart, Jupiter and the part of fortune are exactly conjunct as well at the place of medicine and healing. And what that means is that tonight I want us to, as a council representing this planet, and whatever our genetics are, whatever star systems or alien genetics we have, so representing them too, I want us to call in sudden good fortune, because that figures in here too. Sudden good fortune is where it is the gateway to the sixth house, and it's closely conjunct Venus at the place of love and friendship. That's tonight's chart. Now, in the full moon chart in about a week, it also figures in. Let me see where it figures in this time. Oh, and that chart, you're getting huge stuff from other worlds. You're getting the fulfillment of prophecy. You're getting ecstasy and eloquence. You're getting a huge download of philosophy. And the whole top of the chart is it's space-time. So I expect this full moon that there's going to be a huge initiation going on. And that's what I kind of wanted to pray about tonight as a council representing our planet and our solar system and our galaxy and our local group and all connections. And I wanted to ask for technical assistance, because at the full moon chart, the sun is at the place of technical assistance with technical inventions. And on the full moon chart, Mars and the sun and moon are exactly conjunct at the place of fire and water. So the Earth and the Moon and Mars are completely agreeing about fire and water, which, Mayor, if you could read here, it's 2 Sagittarius, and then that is coming up on the greater tractor. And the greater tractor, by the way, is education. So we're all learning here. The whole being of God is learning. So what you're going to hear now is where Mars and the Moon and the Earth are conjunct on the full moon, when we're calling in this technical assistance from other worlds to operate through space-time, to bring us through this with tremendous ecstasy and beauty and merriment even. So, Mayor, this is 2 Sagittarius.
Okay, 2 Sagittarius. Myrmo, M-Y-R-M-O, the angels of fire and water. Please be with us all. Beloved, we are the heavenly host who inspire inventors to use steam with all its diverse possibilities. Everything from the most modern steam engine to the vaporization of liquids for manifold purposes falls under our jurisdiction in the divine scheme. As you know, Sagittarius symbolizes wisdom working through will, the fire element. Fire and heat embody the masculine, creative, electrical energy of divine being. Water and liquids combine of divine will and divine love. Water and liquids embody the feminine, magnetic, receptive energy, which is flowing emotions. Wisdom is always a combination of divine will and divine love. Wisdom unites male and female energy. Male is will for the highest good of all, and female is emotions of divine love. These two are the elements of fire and water, of electricity and magnetism, and on every level they come together in a rhythmic way, birthing expression on every level. As deeper comprehension of male and female, fire and water, electricity and magnetism on the levels of being, will, mind, feelings, and senses becomes clear, inspiration for inventions using this in the world of form also become clear, as do certain principles behind the making of the Philosopher's Stone. We teach through the qualities of our name, Myrmo, about joining fire and liquid to create on subtle levels, while on the physical level we inspire use of vaporization and liquid to create on subtle levels, while on the physical level we inspire the use of vaporization and steam for many purposes for the highest good. From the time of early civilizations long past to the future, we reveal ever more wisdom that results from combining fire and liquids. As you float in the far reaches of space in journeys to come, our gifts of using heat to vaporize liquids to bring comforts and blessings. As people align will and feeling with harmlessness to all and seek to use the divine gifts of consciousness for the highest good of all, much more is revealed by the heavenly hosts. Myrmo, the angels of fire and water.
Now, to show you how precisely this fits in with the Hadron Collider, I don't know whether to call it the Hadron Collider or the CERN Collider. It's that great big old thing over near in Switzerland. They have photons traveling almost at the speed of light in 2 streams. One stream goes clockwise and one stream goes counterclockwise, and they collide at this one point. And they have like 1 or 2 billion collisions a second, and they're going to be ramping that up. And every time they do it, the magnetosphere of the Earth goes down. That magnetosphere protects us from rays from outer space. And not only that, but the sun sends out these filaments. Now you're saying, well, Cynthia, what does that have to do with, well, I'll tell you what it has to do with it. Fire and masculine energy and electricity is clockwise. And water, feminine energy, emotional energy, magnetic energy is counterclockwise. So the fact that they are colliding, those rascals, with opposite spins is, in a sense, making love. It's the fire principle colliding with the water principle, which would make steam, if you heat water. So what I'm seeing as technical assistance goes back to, y'all just stay with me, this may seem rambling, but there's a point to it. Back to the days when in Atlanta a lot of people were going to these firewalk workshops. They were Anthony Robbins students, putting them on. You pay your $120, you go in there, and about, anywhere from 4 hours to a weekend workshop. Everybody's walking on 1,700-degree Fahrenheit coals barefoot, not getting burned. And they did it because Anthony Robbins had come up with this easy way where people could anchor in emotions. In other words, they'd spend the workshop, say 30 minutes on happiness, where they would remember a time when they were very, very happy, or they would imagine a time when they were very, very happy, and when they were really feeling happy, they would do what's called anchoring it in. Now, anchoring it in can be anything you want it to be, but whatever you decide on, you have to keep using the same one. And what I used to anchor it in was I touched my forefinger to the tip of my thumb. So every time I reached the peak of happiness, while I was at that peak feeling, I'd touch my tip of my forefinger to the tip of my thumb and anchor it in. Well, he had us do happiness, and he had us do, courage and faith and victory and all these wonderful feelings. I mean, carefully, where we went through these real deep meditations, feeling courageous, feeling faith, feeling what that feels like, feeling that victory, that feeling of I can do anything, and anchoring it in, all these emotions. And then when it came time to walk over the hot coals, what he would have you do is anchor it in. With me, I would touch my fingertip to my thumb and then just say cool moss. You just imagine that you're walking on cool moss, like on a creek bed where it goes over the stones, and you anchor it in. And I'll tell you what, every last one of those people, there was about 30 of them, and some of them were like 13, 14 years old, and some were kind of elderly, and some were these, middle-aged people from every kind of background. Every last one of us walked over the hot coals, and we didn't get burned. They were glowing hot coals. Just doing that with our emotions and anchoring it in. Now, anchoring it in is the Saturn energy, and Saturn in these charts is the place of education. So if we look at everything that's going on as learning through experience, and realize that it's not just our Earth, but there's whole superclusters, the whole Virgo superclusters. There's a whole bunch of them, the hydras, all kinds of them. I forget all the name of them, but this huge stream of whole galaxies going specifically to 15 degrees Sagittarius, which is the place of education. And I learned more at that firewalk because all my life I'd been told you get burnt. If you touch something hot, you get burnt. And every time I touched something hot, I did get burnt. And I learned that, and we all learn it. Water bowls at 212 and blah, 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 and you light paper and all that stuff, and it works every time. But then you go to one of these workshops, and you're taught that by changing your emotions, that your body can do whatever it needs to do to protect itself. And see, our bodies are microcosms of the macrocosm. The Earth can do whatever she needs to do to protect herself. Our solar system can do whatever it needs to protect itself. We all can do whatever we need to do to protect ourselves. It's built in. But the key is our emotions. And so one of the things I'm asking for tonight from the beings of other worlds, from our own divine immortal selves, from the one being, from all that is that we, one way or the other, and I have a suggestion about one way to do it, but one way or the other, I am asking that they bless our emotions, the astral plane, the emotions, individually and collectively, in such a way that our emotional frequency is just perfect for no matter what anyone does with any technical inventions like CERN, no matter who does what, that it's like walking on cool moss. We're in these high victorious emotions, and we're saying everything's wonderful. We're all going into enlightenment, and that's what happens, no matter what they do. And I saw that over and over and over again at those fireworks, because we went to quite a few, and we even sponsored a few here at our house. And nobody ever got burnt. The worst thing that ever happened was this one lady had loose slacks on, and she had rolled it up, and halfway, it's like a 12-foot walk that you walk along. And about halfway through the walk, one of her pants legs unrolled. And, she was just doing cool moss looking ahead, but the pants leg caught on fire. And so the workshop leader just quickly pushed her off and put it out, and she didn't get burned. That was a wonderful thing. But so you've got fire and water here, where Mars, Mars is like, Martian, martial arts. The warlike planet is right there with the Earth and Moon at fire and water, which is the electromagnetic forces working together. Now, remember when she read that? It says for the comfort and well-being. So this energy that they're generating, if we qualify it, let me put qualifying, because this is a lot of energy. There's like huge tetravolts or whatever they call them. Just this huge energy going around this very long round circle underground. If we qualify the clockwise spin, which is electrical, with the original divine will of creation, the original omnipotence, the original will of everything in creation. If you want to know what the will of everything in creation is, I suggest you look at a flower and think, what kind of will would make this flower, and you'll kind of figure it out. Or look at the laughter of a baby. What kind of will would make the laughter of a baby, and you'll get it together. It's a beautiful will, this original will. It keeps everything and it keeps all the stars and the moon, the planets in place. Look at the wonder of our bodies. Look at what we're doing here on this call tonight. This is a miracle. And so whatever this original will is, this is the fruits of that will. And so you can figure what kind of will it must be. So so I am asking tonight, in the name of the Law of One, that all electrical energies be brought into sympathetic resonance with the original divine will of creation, which is the highest good of all concerned. The divine will of creation is the will for the highest good of all concerned, because it is the creation. It's just like you will for your whole body to feel good, not just your left hand. You want your whole body to feel good. And so the divine will of creation is for everything to be happy and feel good. And then I am asking that the counterclockwise spin, the magnetic spin, the water spin, also be qualified with the original divine emotions, which, for lack of a better word, is love. It's love, it's grace, it's happiness, it's high inspiration, it's enlightenment, it's, oh my goodness, it's just, it's faith, it's enthusiasm, it's creativity, it's beautiful. the original emotions of creation. So I am asking that the original emotions of creation and the original will of creation permeate everything, including the Hadron Collider. Through the divine virtue of omnipresence, I'm asking for the omnipresence to fire up with omnipotence everywhere, all the time, starting now, and absolutely control manifestation. In other words, whatever is imperfect will dematerialize and rematerialize as the divine perfection. Very similar to where if you saw a leper person, sitting on the side of a street in Calcutta, just covered with leprosy, and a great being or sage or even you were to walk by and bless that being, and then suddenly, in front of your eyes, this withered old, disease-ridden body transforms into a radiant body of a son or daughter of God, a radiant body like when Christ healed the sick and even raised the dead. And he said, all that I do, ye shall do and more. So anyway, that's the prophecy. And prophecy plays a big deal in this. Let me see, where is it? I don't want to. So many things. Prophecy, where did you go? Let's see. Oh, I can't find it. I wrote it down here somewhere. If I see it, I'll bring it up. But one of these things is prophecies, one of these big markers. And it should be here. Let me just look a little bit longer here. Yeah, there it is. It's Chiron. In the full moon chart at 25 Pisces, prophecy. Chiron symbolizes uniting our lower self with our higher self. It also symbolizes uniting our soul with our spirit. In other words, what it really symbolizes is fully incarnating as a son or daughter of God and total enlightenment. And that's what I wanted to say, too, is I've been experimenting this week. Excuse my cough here. I've been experimenting this week. And what I've done is I've just gone in meditation and I said, okay, I am asking for a brand new mind and brand new emotions. I am asking for the mind and the emotions that are the highest good of all concern, because I'm tired of hurting people. In other words, if I'm just kind of halfway happy, no, not too good, not too bad, it's okay, oh, yeah, I'm just enduring it, yeah, it's okay. That's affecting everybody. That's affecting all the plants around me. It's affecting everyone who knows me, loves me, all the animals. It's affecting everybody. And I don't want to just put out, I'm getting by, oh, it's okay. I don't want to do that anymore. I want to put out whatever is absolutely the most beautiful. In other words, I think of the difference, say, of just walking down the street and there's the average Joe you pass by, or walking down the street and Yogananda passes by, or a great being, from Venus or something. And you can just feel the radiance of them. It's a huge difference. I mean, just think of it. You walk into a room, say, of kids, and there's one really happy kid over there, and that kid is just happy and stuck in the happiness, and nothing's bringing that kid down. That kid will bring up the whole room. It might take a few minutes, but it'll bring up the whole room if the kid stays strong. And so that's what I want to do. I want to be here on this planet, radiating whatever it is, mentally, emotionally, in my desire nature, in my physical nature, that is truly a blessing to everyone. And the only way I can do that is to be that. So that's what I was praying for. I said, look, I am perfectly happy with giving up the way I've been. I've been there. It's been great for as far as it goes. But I am asking, like Paul on the road to Damascus, I am asking for true divine Abhisheka. I am asking for initiation. I am asking to be enlightened. And even though it might seem strange, I'll get used to it. It's like breaking in a new pair of shoes. So I really prayed that prayer pretty hard. And I really meant it. And it started happening. And what happened is like I'd noticed that I'd go to bed, and my whole head would be different. My whole emotional vibe would be different. And I would remember how for years, I'd go to bed and I'd be thinking about this and I'd be feeling that and blah, 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 same old, same old. But all of a sudden, when I went to bed, I was much more peaceful. My movements were slower. They weren't jerky and hectic, like, oh, I've got to get to bed because I've got to get up in the morning. No, I noticed myself a lot more graceful, moving slower. I noticed myself just slowing down, stopping and smelling the roses kind of thing. And I noticed that when I got in bed, that my body moved much more gracefully. I wasn't in such a hurry. I was more aware of the softness of the sheets. I took a longer time, wishing the dogs good night. When the cat meowed and got me up, I was okay to do it. It didn't irritate me like it sometimes does. This cat gets right over my bed and it politely says, now that you're about to fall asleep, I want you to feed me, which I usually do because it's an old cat, and, I love spoiling that cat. But anyway, when the cat did its number, it's like it didn't matter. I didn't worry about whether I could fall asleep again or not. I mean, I was just a lot smoother person. I was a lot more comfortable in my own skin, and I wasn't used to it. It felt weird and odd, but I remembered having prayed for it, and I said, look, I can get used to this. I like this a whole lot better than the way I was. And sure enough, I noticed that just given a few days, and it starts feeling comfortable. It starts wearing more, like, yeah, this is who I am. And so I just wanted to also throw that into the mix because I see it here. I see it here in this chart because we're using our bodies as technical inventions. In other words, you can build a bridge to go from this mountaintop to the other mountaintop. You can put in a nice bridge, and a lot of people do, and there's a lot of beautiful bridges in the world, but you can also study with a shaman and learn how to do the gate of power and just leap. And both are done. Both are done. But the one where you just leap is a more ancient technology. It's like they're making clones and they're making, robots and things like this. But a natural human being with a soul who developed naturally in utero is a more refined technology than any clone or droid or robot they'll ever come up with. And so what I'm saying is natural creation is a technology. It's a divine technology, and it has built into it everything it needs to take care of itself. And it's only limited by, really, our emotions and our vision. And that's why there's been such a war over our minds and our emotions. So I just wanted to throw that in. As we are listening tonight, just quietly pray. We can pray together, too. Now, in this full moon chart, again, I find Jupiter is at the place of medicine and healing. The North Node is at the place of beautiful fragrances. Now, I have been smelling beautiful fragrances. If you haven't, I would encourage you to ask to smell beautiful fragrances. Because when high states of consciousness are generated, or if high beings are around you, or if you're in a high place, there tends to be a beautiful smell. And I've been smelling that from time to time. And the North Node has been there for some time, with Jupiter coming right up on it in medicine healing. And the whole art of aromatherapy for healing is huge. It's part of Ayurveda. It's part of the Vedic system. I mean, the whole aromatherapy thing, there are books and books and books on it. You can buy these wonderful fragrances. That's the North Node. North Node is where we're headed. So I think we're just going to get through this whole thing, and we're going to all be enlightened, and there's going to be beautiful smells. It may happen suddenly for some people. It may seem gradual for others, but that's where I think the end result is going to be. Now, Mercury stations right during this full moon, and it stations at sudden good fortune. It stations from retrograde to direct at sudden good fortune. When a planet stations, it's at its most powerful, and Mercury is our thinking processes, our communication processes. And boy, if this isn't a war of thinking and communication, I don't know what is. Internet, spy cams, implants, chips. Oh my goodness, psychics, occult stuff. If this isn't having to do with communication of all kinds, on all levels, and our thinking processes, I don't know what is. They're fighting over what we believe. They're doing everything they can to get us to believe this, that, or the other. And they're communicating, wanting to know what we're doing, and they're communicating, wanting us to believe what they want us to believe, good and bad. And Mercury, the planet that governs all that, is stationing during this full moon, while this whole thing is going on with the Hadron Collider, at the place of sudden good fortune. Now, if walking over 1,700 degree Fahrenheit coals and not getting burnt for the first time in your life is not sudden good fortune, I don't know what is, because I was scared, and I was the last one to do it because I was scared. I wasn't going to do it, to be honest with you. But after the last 14-year-old kid did it, and everybody else had done it, I mean, I thought, oh, well, here it goes. But I made it just fine. I anchored in and walked over. And so I want us to anchor in just somehow in our very own being. The absolute exquisite joy and beauty of everything being fine, of all these dreams and hopes of the prophets, of the New Age, of the Mayans, that, yeah, in the twinkling of an eye, we all just snap got it. And if this sounds unrealistic, like, yeah, in your dreams, Cynthia, well, to me, walking on hot coals is extremely unrealistic. And 200 years ago, the Internet would have seemed unrealistic. What we think is realistic and unrealistically changes like fashion and music and movies. You know, things come into style and then they go out. So it might sound weird of things changing in the twinkling of an eye, but that's what the Bible says it was going to be like. And that's over 2,000 years old. I mean, it does seem strange. But, you know, I look back at this past week. I mean, I was serious when I asked for that. I said, look, I do not have to be in my comfort level. I said, I am asking for the highest good of all concerned, and I'm not afraid of it, because if it's the highest good of all concerned, I know I'll love it, whatever it is. But it doesn't have to be something I'm familiar with. You know, I come into my head, come into my mind, come into my emotions, and as long as it's the highest good of all concern and it's the divine truth, go for it. And if I can't even recognize myself when I wake up, that's fine. I'll get to know myself. I'll just get to know who I am all over again. And to be honest with you, it's kind of been that way. It's been by degrees this last week, but it has definitely been noticeable to me. And I like it. I like getting to know the new me. I mean, I like myself better, to be honest with you. I'm much better company. My dogs like me better, too. So, Marianne, I know you have to leave at 9:30 because you have to get up so early in the morning. I was just wondering if for the full moon chart you would like to read Ceres, which is at the place of ecstasy and eloquence, or if you would rather read where the part of fortune is. I think that might be my favorite. The part of fortune is the most fortunate place in the whole chart, and it's at the place of 21 Aries, angelic intercession, Oromonas.
Cynthia?
Yeah.
I have so much static on my line. You can hear it right now.
Yeah.
I would prefer Mare to read or you.
Okay, let me see if she's here. Hold on, if not, I'll read it. Oh, yeah, she's here. Can you read Oromonus, the angels of angelic intercession, 21 degrees Aries? Now, y'all, this is of the full moon chart where all this drama is going on, right? This is the place of the, remember now, the midheaven is space-time. And then you've got Neptune at other worlds. And then here we have the part of fortune at what? Angelic intersection, 21 Aries. She's getting it now.
21 degrees Aries, Oromonus, Oromonas, the angels of angelic intercession. Oromonus, please be with us all. Beloved, we teach from the virtues of the letters of our name how to understand, call forth, and work with all angels, heavenly hosts, and powers in the zone surrounding Earth. Our function is primarily educational rather than intercessory, in the sense of acting as liaison between the heavenly hosts and humans. Although we do have the power to bring forth legions of angels, avatars have said, "All that I do, you shall do and more," because they knew that situations come into the lives of each individual person, bringing realization that the key to heaven emerging on earth rests in their own hands. For this reason, ancient teachings are being made available now, for each of you has the power to change the course of history. One person meditating on the divine virtues and calling forth the help of the heavenly hosts can alter everything for everyone. Because there are many angels and powers available to help you, it is our job to acquaint you with them and give you instructions to set their powers in motion. Call on us and meditate on the qualities represented by the letters of our name, to see through meditation the overall picture of the beings and powers surrounding Earth and how to use them victoriously. Oromonus, the angels of angelic intercession.
Okay, now keep in mind that's the part of fortune, and I just got through saying Mercury is stationing at the moment of the full moon as sudden good fortune. Mira, would you read that? I'm going to run downstairs a minute. This is 15 Taurus, and after you read 15 Taurus, y'all remember the 15th degree of any sign is its most powerful. The great attractor is 15 degrees Sagittarius. So here at 15 degrees Taurus, you've got Mercury stationing. Wait till you hear that. And so, Mir, if I'm not back, I don't know how long this reading is. If you would read 15 Sagittarius, if I'm not back, and I will be right back.
Hey, Mare.
Okay.
Mare.
We're going to first read 15 Taurus. Dromoni, the angels of sudden good fortune. J-R-O-M-O-N-I. Please be with us all. Beloved, making money easily and quickly, finding hidden treasures, winning at speculative ventures, all fall under our range of competence. There are times when divine love sees wisdom in bringing good luck for the purpose of transmutation, harmony, justice, change, and happiness, activating clear inner guidance and direction of cause and effect. Such wealth, riches, and surplus money brings happiness and harmony and not hindrance to spiritual development. You may contact us through meditation on the letters of our name with requests for good fortune to come your way, which we are happy to bring about if it is in the best interest of all. Dromoni, the angels of sudden good fortune.
Hey, Mare.
Yeah.
It's Marianne.
Hi.
Hi. My phone is good. I just want to make a comment. If you want to read 15 Sag, that's fine. But what Cynthia was saying about what she was asking for, of the highest appropriate mind and emotions that she can that can integrate into her body and to be and have. This is all, the angels of sudden good fortune, the angels of angelic intercession. I mean, this is absolutely lining up, and I'm glad that she brought that forth and to
help us all do that.
And gave us some great suggestions. So and medicine and healing, and the great attractor is 15 degrees Sagittarius, the angels of education. Basically, with our new minds and our new emotions, we can educate and train ourselves from the divine. So anyways, go ahead and read 15 degrees Sag.
Okay. All right. Give me just a sec here. Okay. 15 Sagittarius, Hosun, the angels of education. Hosun, please be with us all. Beloved, we are originators of many educational methods applied to young and old. We are originators of schools from the oldest forums of the prophets and continuing to the many different classrooms of the present time. We inspire you concerning the upbringing of children. A whole education teaches how states of being, will, thoughts, feelings, and senses create reality. States of being create desires, desires create thoughts, thoughts create emotions, emotions attract realities into physical expression. So it is absolutely necessary to teach the importance of emotions and how to keep feelings healthy and happy. Through good education, a person learns how to heal when feelings are hurt and how not to act out negative emotions in destructive way to self, others, or property. True education teaches that all-pervading will is for the highest good of all, based on the unified field, the web of life that connects all parts of creation as one. A child learns to unite his or her individual will with divine will, and in so doing to have great enthusiasm and confidence. An educated person learns that matter is malleable. It is multidimensional and responds to being, will, thoughts, feelings, and sense. Such a person learns how to go into deep trance to create realities and to know the ongoing effects of such creations. From supreme happiness arises problem-solving skills. Effective education results from fun and joy. Adept educators enhance the natural instinct within each student to enjoy him or herself in whatever way comes most naturally, and then the student's body responds by producing glandular substances that enhance abilities. Each student is unique and has individual talents that develop in this way. The first letter of our name, H, is H because the divinity inherent in each person depends on whole body and whole brain functioning. Left and right brain functions are to serve, and neither was ever designed to override spirit and soul. Children of every age, young and old, long deeply for their whole consciousness to be awakened, inspired, and empowered. They seek for the whole self to be active. We inspire and protect those who call for the way to teach beloved children and bring forth the promised realm in this way. At this time of the great change, paradigms of education, which have been left-brain dominant, are giving way to balance between intuition and intellect and addressing the heart. Unsustainable educational standards that emphasize the development of the left hemisphere of the brain, the rational, linear, sensate functions that operate on memory and language, give way to paradigms that join and balance these functions with basic being, deep inner thought, intuition, and emotional well-being. The old type of education was an unnatural development that often diminished joy and led to an emotionally damaged adult population that overvalued work and emphasized logic over intuition, valued masculine over feminine, separation over unity, outer worlds over inner, artificial over natural. We are empowering whole being developments that encourage utilizing all polarities as continuums, balancing and uniting masculine and feminine, work and play, logic and feeling, memory and intuition, separation and unity, inner worlds and outer. Only as this quadrupolar consciousness of will, being, thought, feeling, and sense is taught and illumined does heaven emerge fully within a student and also on earth. Remember that as children grow, they develop the 4 brainwave states in a natural order. Functional educational paradigms enhance this process of 2 states on the right hemisphere and 2 on the left. Only when all 4 states are developed equally and naturally does a person take on his or her rightful dominion within the great creation, existing interdependently in both inner and outer realms of consciousness. These states emerge gradually and overlap each other. From apparently birth to 4 years of age, the deep delta state of basic being development is enhanced by bonding and deep communion, showing respect for the child's own inner guidance and modeling right use of will for the highest good of all. Create peaceful and beautiful surroundings, mandalas, music, touch, and spiritual communion. From approximately 4 to 7 years, the theta state, deep inward thought, is enhanced by introduction to archetypes through the stories that symbolically present profound truth and process of enlightenment, a function performed by fairy tales, myths, and pictures for thousands of years. This is also the time for practice in skills of clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairaudience, and so forth. From approximately 7 to 11 years of age, the alpha state attunes to feelings from within and sensitivity to emotions emitted from people, beings, and objects in the outer world. This is the time to learn how to work with emotions of the heart, emphasizing skills such as transmuting and healing feelings. From approximately 11 and onward, the left brain beta state, the 5 senses are perfected and developed, and everything having to do with memory, logic, linear thinking, and languages are emphasized. An enlightened, educated adult produces all 4 states simultaneously and with equal ease. He or she is attuned to pure inner being and unity with all, like a little child, and to their own will in oneness with God. They access wisdom with deep inner thought and feel deeply with good emotional skills. This brings facility with language, logic, memory, and the 5 senses. As old left brain dominant educational theories crumble, The new paradigms are nurtured within all students, especially by those educators who seek inspiration of the heavenly hosts. Hosun, the angels of education.
Now, y'all, that's the great attractor. In other words, all these super clusters, our own local group, just immense, like 600 million kilometers a second or something like that, speeding toward this one point. You can look it up in Wikipedia or any place like that. And that is also where Saturn is. And Saturn is the one thing you have to do in any chart for the rest of the chart to work. So exactly what she just read is what has to happen. And the very fact that it is exactly to the degree on the Great Attractor says to me, like a lot of channelings are saying, and a lot of these ETs are saying, and a lot of these pictographs are saying, that it's not just us. We're just, what I've heard is we're like the last one to get in line. It's many galaxies, and we're just like the last one at the end of the line to learn whatever it is that we need to learn. And I think that what we need to learn is the law of one. And that's why I asked for a new consciousness, because everything I've been taught in this life, pretty much all the cartoons, the movies, it was good guy versus bad guy. Win, lose. Everything was resolved with violence for the most part, either magically through science fiction and fairy tales or war, like with the Terminator, good guy versus bad guy. And I'm tired of it. I'm weary of it. I just want to live in peace. But I recognize that, I incarnated at this time. I got exposed to just this hypnotic barrage of, you have to fight for your rights and be careful, or, just this whole kind of armored, stalking kind of energy. And I realized, I've become part of the problem with that kind of programming because I'm putting that vibe out. So we're like a group of people generating everything we don't want, but we're doing it innocently because we got programmed that way, and our parents are programmed that way, and their parents. And so what we're saying right now, at least what I'm saying right now, is wonderful. I mean, I can give thanks for that. I can see a lot that's been gained from it, but I choose to just do the highest good of all concern, and I'm much higher good to the people around me when I am happy and peaceful than when I'm frantic and manic. And so, I just looked at the common sense equation, and I said, by the way, the mystical path for the full moon is a math equation. I'm using the word equation. And I thought, it's a feedback loop. I've been injured, so I injure everything around me. It gets injured by me, so it injures me back, and it just goes around and around and around and around. And I just said, look, I am asking, for the divine perfect state of consciousness. And if I wake up in the morning and it's different than anything I've ever felt before, that's fine. I welcome it. I'll get used to it. And I have been getting very, very good results with that prayer. So, again, I'm repeating it. You might want to try it. I do want to say that for quite a long time, the indicator of the dark consciousness that we all share as the one being called Hades has been at the place of beauty and health. And you'll notice that there's all this emphasis on beauty and there's all this emphasis on health. And they make a lot of money off of it, and the movies and this and that, beauty and health. And I just want to, I'm very tempted to read tonight Beauty and Health. I'm sort of torn between reading Beauty and Health, which is 5 Cancer, and Nimtrix, the Angels of Materialization and Dematerialization, which is 15 Cancer, because you've got Mercury stationing at 15 Taurus, you've got Saturn dead on the Great Attractor at 15 Sag, There's some others that are just Jupiter's at 14, Virgo. 14, that's one away of being in the middle of Virgo. You've got, let's see, you've got Pluto at 17 Capricorn. That's just 2 degrees away from the middle of Capricorn. And so I'm instead of reading beauty and health, because I'll just put this out real quick on the beauty and health issue. Our bodies are not built to age and get sick and die. They are built to be radiant and beautiful and very magical. And you know this, and I know this. And science knows this. And when we get our emotions right, the bodies will follow. And that's why I'm asking for omnipotent divine will, omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient divine will to take complete control of everything and create divine love. You know, that's the clockwise and counterclockwise spin. To create such shock waves of divine love and joy and peace and happiness and contentment, all the beautiful emotions, that it literally dematerializes any problem. It rematerializes everything in a whole new light. And I'm going to read 15 Cancer because this is a key to understand about life anyway. See, we're taught to feel helpless. Fluoride calcifies the pineal and gives you a feeling of helplessness. And I was just reading the other day something else makes you feel helpless too that's real common. Forget what it was, but anyway, we're not helpless. We are sons and daughters of God, and we have infinite power in our normal, natural state. And we have these religions on the planet that say, well, someday you'll get there, 80 lifetimes from now, or maybe after you die, if you give enough money to your church, you'll make it, or whatever. But it's always another time and another place. Well, this full moon chart, no, you can't go there because the midheaven is space-time. And again, if you crunch the math and understand what space-time is, you will realize there is only now. Because what we do in the now changes the illusion of space-time, and that's been proven. But anyway, let me just read the angels of materialization and dematerialization. Beloved, all that I do, you shall do and more. Awareness of every impulse of will and every passing emotion is of the utmost importance. Knowing how to heal imperfect desires and painful emotions is necessary on the path of spiritual perfection. If will is for the highest good of all, and emotions are of love and other divine virtues, you can rest assured that outcomes are kind and wise and nourishing to the spirit and the souls and the entire continuum of creation of all beings and being, mind, feeling, and form. As this happens, people bring forth sweet fruits in whatever they create, even joining with the plant realm to also produce the most succulent fruits on earth, coming from the domain of heaven. The fire of the sun combines with water of earth via the mysteries of plant consciousness into the most delicious of foods, yet another form of energy. Fruit is the perfect organic result of fire and water, especially when beautiful emotions are being generated. Humankind's birthright is to perform miracles for the highest good of all. There are times when it is the highest good to materialize or dematerialize a certain state of being or desire or belief or emotion or even material objects or all of the above. We teach how to materialize or dematerialize in meditation through the power of the Word. We are also available to materialize or dematerialize objects on any level upon command when asked by Providence. And I'm calling these guys in, believe me. Take care of this planet. Everything in creation, whether past, present, or future, exists in the most subtle realm of Akasha. which is a word meaning the omnipresence of divine consciousness and being, which is accessed in the delta state of pure being and unity, which is dominant in infancy and every night in deep dreamless sleep. From this state, any creation can be condensed into more solid forms. First, a creation becomes fire, which is intent or desire for the creation. In this stage, it is a clear visual image, still in the delta state. Next, it is contemplated in the mind, where it condenses into a more solid form in the theta wave state of deep inner thoughts and imagination. At this stage, let me get my book here. At this stage, its form is that of mental matter, or the air element. The next stage is the water state of flowing emotions, the alpha brainwave state that produces magnetism, that will attract the desired physical form out of the quantum fields of infinite possibility. Emotions are condensed information. This information materializes. Materialization of an object is brought about by merging with magnetic emotions of an imagined form existing in physical reality, then imagining the sensation of shape, measure, number, and weight of the form in a particular place. To the degree that imagined sensations of shape, measure, number, and weight are focused and strong, is the materialization even on the physical plane successful. Dematerialization of an object requires decondensing energy by sensing the form becoming less dense, like water, and then light and airy, like a mental thought form. Finally, desire for the object is surrendered back to divine being to be transformed so that even the fire element is released. To the extent that these sensations of an object becoming flowing, then light and airy, then hot and expansive, are focused and strong, to this degree, materialization is successful and easy. All of this is done with faith. As you can see, even though actual acts of materialization and dematerialization are results of emotional energy of alpha waves in a state of omnipotent faith, whole being functioning is required for this skill. The state of being and will, which is the delta waves, pure being, and thought, theta waves, deep inner thought, and emotions, the alpha waves, and sensations, which are beta waves, memory, logic, and the five senses, are all required in consciousness. Whole being function, particularly for the materialization, requires proficiency with the divine qualities of our name in the ancient language. Through meditation on these virtues represented by the letters of our name, the memory and conscience become powerful through understanding cause and effect, and the ability to enliven anything through sensation and the breath is attained. Complete ascendance over emotions, and therefore the principle of change is acquired. So basically what I'm saying here is no matter what anyone does with any technology, it can be dematerialized. And something else can be materialized. And it requires a clear inner vision, which is an intent and a will. And my clear inner vision and intent and will is for the highest good of all concerned. And I am perfectly aware of the fact there's no two people alike or snowflakes alike. There's no two moments alike. There's no two situations alike. And that what's the highest good in one situation may not be the highest good in another. So I am recognizing that the highest good of all concerned is continually changing and morphing. But the one thing that it has in common is a frequency of joy and happiness. When the highest good of all concern is happening, there is just a hum of happiness. It's that it's a beautiful thing, and it's an emotion, and emotion is compressed information. So the program for the original technology of creation itself, mathematically, is the frequency of happiness. It's a frequency. And this is divine happiness. The divine virtue of love comes before happiness. In other words, you look at the letters of the alphabet, and that's an order of divine virtues and manifestation. And the letter for divine love is J. So you have JKLMN, then you have happiness. J is divine love, K is faith, L is all the divine virtues taken together, M is divine emotion, the quality of divine emotion, and N specifically is happiness. And happiness causes cohesion. And cohesion is materialization. In other words, for this creation to stay in materialization, for your grandmother to have stayed young and beautiful and not aged and gotten sick and died or whatever, there would have had to have been supreme happiness, supreme happiness. And the way we're built and the way creation is built, there's basically 7 levels of housekeeping for happiness. All 7 have to be in good shape and working in harmony. Those are the 7 candlesticks, the 7 chakras, the 7 musical notes, the 7 colors. But the one in the middle that keeps the 3 lower ones and the 3 upper ones in balance is the heart. It's the first thing to develop in utero. And its energy field is 5,000 times stronger than the brain. So any magician or occult person who's in their brain willing this or willing that, for good or for bad, someone in their heart loving something will have an energy field 5,000 times stronger. Love does conquer all. It really does. And so that's another prayer I'm praying for tonight, that we can all be ignited with love. That, I'm asking for it. I want to just ignite with love. I want to be consumed by it. I want to be a willing vessel of love. I've got a body here. It's 67 years old. It's been through a lot. It's a miracle it's still here. And by golly, this body is like a high technical instrument. And I am asking that it be used according to the highest good of all concerned. All strings tuned, no out of tune strings. All colors pure, no muddy, murky colors. Everything balanced. And I know to balance it, I have to be in my heart. And it has to be a heart of divine love. So I'm praying right now, and if you want to join with me, I am praying that every man, woman, and child, and every animal, every plant, every mineral, every atom, every electron, everything in the whole space-time continuum have a tsunami of love, divine love that is so powerful and so enlightened. It's not a blind animal love or instinctual love. It is a divine love that is infinitely enlightened and powerful, and that it just saturates everything, every physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, individual, collective, all the time, through all dynamics and changes, to do one thing and one thing only, and that is, in each and every situation, in each and every moment, with each and every being, to keep that frequency of the highest good of all concerned, whatever it takes. And if you're omnipotent, and you're omniscient, and you're omnipresent, and you're God, you can do that. And that's what I'm asking for. And the Bible says, test me, try me, let me fight your battles for you. So God, I'm calling you in. And I am turning this whole thing over to you, and I'm testing you. And I am asking you to be omnipotent, all-powerful, beyond any words to describe. I'm asking you to be everywhere present and everywhere. And I'm asking you to be all-knowing. All of this at the same time. And I'm asking you to be divine love that results in supreme happiness throughout all creation, and this is maintained at the frequency of the highest good of all concerned. So that's my spiel. So let's open up and let's do this prayer together, and then after that, let's do sharing. So
Yeah,
I think Marianne has.
I'm here.
Okay, you're here. Okay, if you could. Thank you. I was getting tense. Okay, now I remember to hit start. I appreciate it.
I'm here. I'm
about 3 years old with technical things.
It's all right.
Go ahead.
I'm still here.
I'm so glad.
Okay. Everyone can open. They can star 6 now. Hello?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
Everybody just hit star 6 and come on in. Now, as usual, remember we are a voting body. We are a lawful voting body in the eyes of all the heavens. We represent the earth. We are natural-born citizens of the earth. And as a voting body, this prayer is being offered. This is not sentimental. It's not wishful thinking. We are asking for this. We are asking for this. So I call in the living flame of divine love to be with us now, and I call in universal consciousness to be with us now. And I am asking our own immortal divine selves from the beginning of time to come and be with us now, and to completely merge with us and transform us into itself, into our true selves, our immortal, divine, perfected self. And as this is being done for us, I'm asking it being done for every man, woman, and child on this or any world, that their divine, immortal blueprint, their divine, immortal truth, appear in whatever time, space, matrix they're in, or multiples there are, and totally merge, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, with the incarnation, and bring about true divine enlightenment, true divine faith, true divine love. Whew. So let's do the law of one and then continue praying, but other people pray. After we do the law of one, what I just did, if you would pick up the talking stick and add your prayer. If you don't want to do it out loud, do it silently. But anyway, let's do the law of one, and we're calling in all beings to do this with us.
And you can star 6.
Yeah. Okay, we are all one.
We are all one.
We are all one.
When one is harmed, all are harmed.
When one is harmed,
When one is harmed,
all are harmed.
all are harmed.
When one is helped, all are helped.
When one is helped,
When one is helped,
all are helped.
all are helped.
Therefore, in the name of who I am.
Therefore, in the name
Therefore,
of who
in
I
the name
am,
of who I am,
And I am one with all there is.
and I am
and
one
I am one
with all
with
there is.
all there is.
I ask that only the highest good of all concerned happen.
I ask that
I
only
ask that only
the
the
highest
highest
good
good of all concerned happen.
happen.
And I give thanks that this is done.
And I give
I
thanks
give thanks
that this
that this is done.
is done.
So be it,
So be it.
and
So
so
be
it
it.
is.
So it is.
So it is.
So I pass the talking stick.
Cynthia,
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you. Thank you for this call, and I know we have more, but I just want to say what you've been doing this week is amazing, and what you've shared, what you've been doing this week. Thank you so much, and it is falling in alignment with the chart, so
yeah,
it's absolutely beautiful, and thank you.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, even though it just was very unfamiliar, I'd wake up in the morning, it just was unfamiliar. My dreaming state was unfamiliar. I'd go to bed at night. I just felt different than I've ever felt before. It was so much more calm. It felt so much more comfortable. It was so much more relaxed. It's like I had not been that relaxed since I was a young girl. And even though it was unfamiliar, I don't even think I was that relaxed as a young girl. Even though it was unfamiliar, it was familiar. And it's just, I guess, like learning to drive a different car. But I just said, this is okay, I'll get used to it, And I was surprised, because after just 2 or 3 days of a major change like that, you'd be surprised. It feels like you've been that way a long time, at least 5 or 6 weeks after just 2 or 3 days. And I can imagine, after a month or two, it'll probably feel like I've always been this way, but we'll see. And I'm going to keep upping the ante, too. I'm going to, I'm a prototype. I'm an experimental person. I'm walking my talk. I'm suggesting asking for these things, but I'm asking for them and seeing what happens. And right now, I'm a happy camper, and I recommend it. So I pass the talking stick.
Nice. Anyways, anyone else want to open up? Just *6. Come on in.
Well, Cynthia and everyone, this is Sunny. I just, I'm really pleased with all of these beautiful prayers and the uniting of the masculine and feminine and harmonizing of the energies, and it's just a beautiful thing. And I would say I would ask for healing of any and all cruelty to any and all beings. No more cruelty.
Oh, yes.
No. To animals, to wanton destruction of nature, or anything of that. Between humans, is certainly between humans, compassion, love, and not acting out negative emotions as you've been talking about, but just supporting one another with love and compassion, and all of life and all of God and Goddesses' creations. Thank you. That all life be honored for its life force.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And deeply loved.
Yes.
I'm asking that everything be deeply loved.
Yes, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
And I apologize to all the photons in the Hadron Collider. I don't want you to be hurt or uncomfortable, and I am asking for your highest good, too, because we are all one. And I apologize to the machine, to all the metals, all the people. I just apologize to nature, and I ask for forgiveness, and I ask that only the highest good of all concerned happen, that we have sudden good fortune and healing and medicine of everything. That the prophecy come true, that in a twinkling of an eye, that all would be made well.
Well, I certainly am behind that. That's wonderful. All would be made well.
Mm-hmm. Happy.
Yeah.
Twinkling of an eye. I can see it.
I can too.
Wow. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, see, that's one of my reasoning. That was some of my logic about what I was asking for this week, is this myth that someday, maybe in another 3 months or 3 years or 30 lifetimes, and what we learned with the law of attraction is if you put it in the future, it'll always be in the future. You have to create it happening in the now. And that's what I asked for. I said, I want enlightenment now. And however it has to come, fine. As long as it's the highest good of all concerned, do it. And I said, don't hold back. And I really laid it on because I meant it with the depths of my heart. And I'm glad I did. I mean, I'm not complaining at all. I just wish I'd done it a long time ago. But whatever. It takes as long as it takes.
Well, I think there's a point that the unraveling and it's now. And
I think so.
We're so changed, and we just keep asking for now, and that's what it is. And I keep saying now, and I keep feeling now.
Yep.
And I know now. There's just I live now, and that's how I do it. I work, and that's how I can do it, and I can hold that now.
And without giving any details or anything personal, but Marianne prayed for a miracle this week for a friend, and it was miraculous. And it was just what you said. It worked.
Yeah. And, I was at work. I had 2 minutes. Yeah.
Yep.
That's all I'm going to say. And a big healing. And
to someone
grateful.
Who deserved it so much.
Mhm. And thank you for bringing that up.
So in other words, in your prayers, you have my permission, because the Bible says where two or more gathered, to call me in on the inner to make two. And just be radical, just be astronomical in what you ask for. Like you asking just now, not, for the no more torturing. Let's see all creatures as deeply loved and treasured as the divine miracles that they are, so that their lives are happy and beautiful. And we have the joy of being around these happy and beautiful beings who are loving us back. And if there are ETs that do materialize, whether they just materialize or whether they come in on some kind of a technology, same difference. I'm asking that there be deep love, deep love, and that it is a reuniting of old relatives, old tribe members, because we are all one, and that it just be the most heartwarming, melting, joyful, relaxing, fulfilling reunion. That we have this beautiful reunion with the creatures and the entities that have been around us all along that we haven't noticed because we've been under this nightmare, or whether we're uniting with beings and creatures who are from other places or other dimensions. I am asking that it be the most deeply loving and heartwarming and the highest good of all concerned for all.
I just want to say that you're bringing in all this deeply loving, beautiful, flowing emotion energy is just so needed at the divine feminine to manifest here more and more. And on some of the other shows we do, sometimes there's an emphasis on the mind and constructing what the world should look like, and that's all well and good. But we need to like
it's
on my show.
emotions that govern the quantum field, not thoughts. It's emotions. The thoughts create emotions, so there's an indirect causative factor. Got a little thing in my throat here, but it's emotions that are the signing on the dotted line. That's what really determines everything. So I am asking for that downpouring of divine light, of the first light, to absolutely radically, just like comforting a little baby, like a little baby who's needing to be comforted, and the mother picks it up and the baby just starts cooing immediately when it just melts into her breast and she's loving it. I'm asking that we are that little baby, and that the mother's love, the downpouring of divine love, completely comfort us all, whether we're human or animal or plant or mineral or subatomic, that this love be of such power that literally things materialize and dematerialize. Sickness will dematerialize, aging will dematerialize, heaven only knows what else will dematerialize and rematerialize in its place, the perfection of it. In other words, the imperfect will be released for transformation, and through cognition brought about by love divine, the perfect manifest. And for everything, for everyone. It's just the action of God on God, because there's nothing but God.
And in the manifestation of the goddess energy is to complement the God energy. And if you've been talking about that all along in different terminology, but that's like the will and the emotion and all.
The magnetic, if you're in a female body, you're set up to receive like a magnet. You attract to you. And if you're in a male body, you're set up to give, to radiate out like electricity. Electromagnetic. But look at, you remember how, this is just so cute, I love this thing. Remember how I said the electrical energies go clockwise and the magnetic energies go counterclockwise? Okay, take your finger and just imagine that you're doing a clockwise, around about your waist level. Just imagine that at your waist level where you're looking down on it, you're doing a clockwise spiral around your body, and then slowly bring it up. Just keep going in the same direction, right? And then see what happens when it's above you.
That's cool.
Isn't that cool? It's the same thing, but they're going opposite directions. It's just whether you're looking at it from above or below. Right?
So we're saying, yes.
So if you're magnetic, you would be below because you receive it like the ground receiving the apple dropping from the tree, gravity. And if you're up in the tree, let the apple fall, which would be electric because it's going away from you. Like a man, when he gives to. A woman takes in. And that's what I really want to talk about when we get back into the sex thing, because it's really a necessity that we get this right down here and do it according to the original divine blueprints, which is ecstatic, but it's ecstatic on all 7 levels. It's ecstatic on all 7 colors and musical notes. In other words, a man has 7 chakras and a woman does too, but they're in alternating polarities. Like the man's crown chakra is electric and the woman's is magnetic. Her third eye is electric, the man's third eye is magnetic. They just alternate going down so that the energy can ping-pong back and forth. And it'll ping-pong back and forth going all the way down, and then if they have sex, whether it's physical sex or metaphysical sex, because you can orgasm across the room with a complete stranger if there's a lineup. it'll shoot all the way back up again. And that's the caduceus. It'll fire all the glandular centers, the glands. And the glands are like little pharmaceutical companies inside your body that produce very powerful hormones and chemicals. And when they get fired up with that sexual energy, you have all these psychedelic drugs being dumped into your system that are being produced by the body for the body. So they're absolutely pure and they're perfect for you, right? And this is the actual chemical drug high that you get with ecstasy and rapture and tremendous faith and tremendous enthusiasm and tremendous happiness, these wonderful states. And those states affect the quantum field and determine what realities we manifest. And you can flip the switch just like that, just like you flip your channel. If you're watching a sad movie and you don't want to watch it, you can either turn the thing off or switch it to another show. And we can do that with our emotions and our minds. And that's what all this stuff is about, is just learning to take control of the ship.
We're our own superconductor.
Yeah, we sure are, too. That's exactly right.
Yep.
And boy, are we powerful.
Yep.
At the same time that we're helpless, because we're paradoxes. We're one and we're many. And so how do you do that? You do both. You ask for omnipotence, which is all powerful, and then you ask for divine love, which is totally receptive. You're both.
Yep.
You're one and many. It's amazing.
And we will walk it well.
And have a great time doing it.
Yep.
I vote for merriment, folks.
Ooh. Sounds good.
Divine merriment.
Sounds good. Wow.
And the power of music to bring it all alive.
Speaking of what, can I make a commercial about music?
Sure.
Go online and look up Swar Mandel. It's SWARMANDEL. It's Sanskrit for Voices of Angels. Do it on Amazon, because I've got 2 of them now from Amazon, and Mare just got one. Mm-hmm. They're handmade in India, and they are the most beautiful instrument, and they almost play themselves. It's hauntingly beautiful. And they say that there are no 2 musicians who tune them alike, but when you get them in the box, the people who made them in India have tuned it. And you might have 1 or 2 strings you have to tighten up a little bit just because of in transit. But I'll tell you what, it is one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard. And they're made out of tunwood, and you get a complete Swar Mandel. It's like 4 strings on the bottom and maybe 15 strings up on the top, in a black carrying case, which is inside another box, with an extra set of strings for $259, and that includes shipping.
Wow. That's great.
So that's my commercial break. If you can somehow manage it, and after the prosperity stuff happens, maybe you can manage it then. But I strongly, strongly recommend you look into Swar Mandel. Swar Mandel.
Can you spell that again?
Yes. SWAR Mandel. MANDEL.
Nice.
Is that from a particular culture or country?
Yeah, it's India. It's India. They play them over there all over the place.
Well, that makes sense. It sounds Indian, but I hadn't heard of that one before.
Yeah. Oh my goodness! If you hear one of these things, you just melt. And it's so easy. Even people who don't know how to play it, when they start just plucking the strings, it's so beautiful. You don't want them to stop.
Even with the sitar is like that. Just plucking the strings.
Yeah. Very nice.
really interesting.
Yeah. I'm so glad I got another one, though. At first I thought it was crazy to get another one, but it just felt right to do it. And it arrived today. And Steve and I tuned them up together, the two. And I'll tell you what, two Swar Mandels going, man, he holds the door. I'm almost tempted to go get another one. So when people come over, all the three of us can do it, you know? I'm serious. I'm tempted.
Well, amazing. Yeah, I hadn't heard of that.
Honey, listen, when you hear it, let me tell you, it will be totally familiar. Because this thing must have been around for lifetimes, because when I heard it, it was like, oh, thank God I'm hearing this again. It was totally familiar, even though in this life I'd never heard of it.
Well, can we hear that on the... Or we hear that over the...
I'll go get my Swar
Internet.
Mandel. I'll go get it. Let me turn this over to Mary, and I'll go get my Swar Mandel.
Yeah, I'm looking at them. When did you get yours, Mare?
Oh, wait, let me get her on the line. Hold on. Come over here and take this one. And then I'm going to bring the Swar Mandel, and then we're going to let them hear it. Let me go get it. Actually, what?
So you're in for a treat.
It is what I'm reading here. I'm looking this up right now. It is basically a small harp, it says, and it's considered a minor instrument. As a class, the harps are very old in India. There's no, this lack of, let's see. Stringing is trial by ear. Tuning is very simple. Let's see. Okay, as you work with your Swar Mandel, you will find yourself tailoring it to your own needs. You will find that changing the gauge or material, the string here and there, the slight alternations of the tuning are in order. However, you will find that very quickly you have your Swar Mandel as you like it. So let me go back to anything else here.
Okay, she's got it up here. Are you ready?
She does?
Okay, here we go.
Hello?
Hold on, she's playing.
Can you hear me?
She's playing right now.
What?
Just hold off for a minute.
Sure.
She's playing right now.
Oh. Could you hear it?
I can hear it now. Sorry, I interrupted your playing. Play it again.
Oh, you can hear it though?
Yes, you can. It's
Yes, I could hear it.
And I've never played one before, and you just hit the strings, and it's like no matter what you do, it sounds so beautiful.
It does.
It sits on your lap. It's about, maybe almost 3 feet long and about a foot wide, and you have 4 big strings right next to you, and then you have these littler ones. I'm going to hold the phone with one hand and play with the other hand. Here goes. Anyway,
beautiful.
Welcome to the land of Swar Mandel.
That is beautiful.
And it's lightweight. I mean, my gosh. Anyway, that's the Swar Mandel.
Very nice. Very nice, Cynthia.
Okay.
Well,
Thank you, Cynthia.
do you have anything to say, Misty?
I'm just enjoying this conference so much. I've been having some telephone problems, so I haven't been able to hear everything, but what I have heard, which is most of it, is just lovely and very uplifting and right in alignment with where I'm at as well. Just lots of confirmation, so I thank you. Mare and Cynthia and Marianne, everybody, thank you so much.
Y'all, we're all one in this together. We're all here incarnated. We're here at this time. We found each other. We're working together through this conference call. That's a miracle.
You know, Cynthia?
Yeah.
I've got a cat that's sound asleep on my angel messages book, but he's listening to the call too. I mean, he's in my lap. I've got the book on my lap. He's across. I've got it open to the North Node, 19 degrees Virgo, and he's just sound asleep, listening to you play.
Oh, honey. Let me see. My book's about to fall off here. Well, I tell you what. If anyone else would like to share, go ahead. If not, I can continue playing if y'all can hear it.
You want to finish the call out, or?
I'm open either way. I'm fine.
Yeah. Anybody else want to have a comment or anything?
No. We want to hear more of the mandala.
Okay, I'm going to put it on speaker, and then I'm going to see if that works. Okay, here goes. Did y'all hear that?
Yes, absolutely beautiful.
Yes,
Thank
I
you.
heard it.
Oh, you guys, it's a swarm and it means voices of angels. I am so in love with this thing. I am like flipped out.
I want one.
You gotta have one, girl.
I want one.
I know. You know what? If I could, I'd buy 1,000 of them, and I would give them to all my neighbors. I just so I could hear it in the evenings.
That would be beautiful. Have
Wouldn't that be
everybody
beautiful?
playing all around you.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, that's just
And we could play them across the country and around the world.
I know, and you don't need any electricity. They're lightweight. They're pretty hardy.
Hey, one night when some of us can get ours, we can do a concert over the phone.
Anyway, I just don't see how anyone could be without one.
We just have to have a little more affluence that we're going to attract through Jupiter energy.
Well, I see you with not just one swarm, Mendel. I see you with at least 2 of them.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Oh, you guys, I love you so much.
Beautiful sharing tonight.
Yeah.
I'm looking at pictures of them right now.
Oh, you're looking at them right now.
You're looking at, oh, yeah.
I did a
Online?
search. Yeah, it looks like, some of it looks like an auto harp thing.
Yep.
Yeah, and there's different shaped ones, too.
The one called Swar Mandel.
Yeah, they're all under that title. But
Oh, really? They're different shaped ones?
Well, some of them are more kind of rectangular-like, and then with a side like an auto harp.
Uh-huh.
And then there's one with a circular, more of a circular, bottom.
Oh, neat. I'm going to have to go find that site. Because I only went to Amazon. They only have one kind there, which is the one I'm playing.
Well, this is from doing a search.
That's from a search, yeah.
Okay.
A Google search.
Okay.
And it had brought up pictures.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's neat. I have a whole new thing to do tomorrow. I bet I end up buying one. I could afford it, right?
It's a beautiful, it has like a oval type bottom and then
wow.
Up to the top. It's like a squat violin that's squished together because it doesn't have the two.
Yeah.
It's kind of, anyway,
wow.
It's different shapes.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's all under the title of Swar
Mandel.
Oh, this one. Wow.
They may be different, slightly different, but that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah. Well, I got both of mine off Amazon, and it's the same one. The one I got now is a little bit deeper, more golden wood than the first one I got a few years ago. But I'm going to look up those other ones, too. I
clicked on one of the images, and it says fretless zither. Fretless zither. So I'm waiting for the image to come in. But it was the one that I was describing with a circular bottom.
Uh-huh.
Oh, now there's 3 of them there. And then
wow.
3 different, slightly different shapes.
Wow.
Anyway.
I'll have to try one of those other ones, too.
Explorations. I don't know if they sound different or not, but they all have...
Maybe there's YouTubes that have them played.
I'm looking at those YouTubes.
Oh, good.
Yeah. You want to hear one?
Yeah. What were you going to say someone was saying?
Oh, yes, it's me. It's Misty. I was just going to say, it's getting really hard to hear you ladies, and I'm going to run, but I wanted to thank you so much for this wonderful call.
Oh, thank you so much for being with us.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Hi.
Love it.
Big hug.
My church. Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, guys, I'm real sleepy, too. I guess maybe we could end.
We can just end. Here it is.
Oh, good.
I think this is it. That's the sitar. Hold on.
Okay.
We're gonna cancel that. But anyways, I'm just gonna end the call.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you in a couple weeks, and we'll also see you on Monday.
Yep.
So, again, thank you all for coming. We love you, and good night.
Good night.
Good night.